Hello and welcome to All-in-One. Today we will be discussing NATO's offer to India and whether or not India should accept it. As you know, NATO is the most powerful military alliance in the world, and recently it has offered to join forces with India. This offer comes at a time when Finland became the newest member of NATO, making it a 31-nation alliance. But should India join? We will explore the pros and cons of the proposal and help you make an informed decision. Let's get started. Introduction about NATO. NATO is offering India a protective shield against its enemies. According to Article 5 of the NATO Treaty, if an external country attacks a NATO member, it will be considered an attack on all member countries, and all countries will have to mandatorily assist and come to each other's aid. For example, if China ever tries to attack India, it will be considered an attack on all 31 NATO member countries. This can be seen as a significant benefit to India. However, if India becomes a member of NATO, it will damage India's strong relationship with Russia. India and Russia's friendship can be seen as two trees planted side by side, providing shared shelter for each other and weathering any storms that have come their way. Furthermore, India still depends heavily on Russian military equipment. Therefore, if India becomes a member of NATO, Russia could feel betrayed. Another argument against India joining NATO is that the United States is extending this offer to India simply because it wants to play India against China, similar to what they did to Ukraine. It is said that this is the main reason driving this proposal. However, China's small-time border disputes with India are not a big concern for India. If ever there will be a battle between India and China, it will happen in the bone-chilling high-altitude mountains of the Himalayas, and needless to say, the Indian Army fully controls the highest battlefield in the world, the Siachen Glacier. Therefore, India does not have the compulsion to join NATO because of Chinese threats. If India decides to become a member of NATO, then it can create a huge problem for India. As mentioned earlier, Article 5 of the NATO Treaty will drag India into all the conflicts and disputes happening in the world that are directly or indirectly initiated by the United States or any other 31 NATO countries, which may not necessarily be beneficial for India. Furthermore, India should not blindly trust the United States and Western nations. Just look at the full form of NATO. It is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. India is not located in the North Atlantic region, which is the area covered by NATO's Collective Defense Clause. Even though countries like Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and South Korea are allies of the United States, they are not part of NATO, which creates a sense of doubt when observing such an invitation being extended to India. Conclusion. In conclusion, while joining NATO may provide India with a protective shield against its enemies, it may also damage India's strong relationship with Russia and create a huge problem for India by being dragged into all the conflicts and disputes happening in the world initiated by the United States or any other 31 NATO countries. Therefore, India should carefully consider the pros and cons of joining NATO before making any decision. That's it for today. Thanks for watching All-in-One.